Hello, everyone. Super excited to announce another new user into our Helium ecosystem. I'm here with Jérôme from Skiply, going to talk a little bit about the company's feedback solutions. And Jérôme, you probably have a lot more to say about that part. But why don't you give us a brief overview of intro yourself and tell us about the company? Tell us about Skiply a little bit.
Yeah, thank you, Jacob. So thank you for inviting me. So I'm Jerome, and I'm the co-founder of Skippy. So what we offer basically is how to interact with people in real life. You know, we have a lot of tools to interact with people at the office with cloud computing, many things. But what we do basically is to connect people with a very simple device, which is connected buttons. So it can be at work, on a store, at home, or almost everywhere, in fact. And I like to say that we provide kind of shortcuts to real life, you know? So yeah, it's just we're simplifying things. And if you need
Yeah.
the opinion of someone of the quality of your service without asking to fill out a form with 10 questions, then you can just press a button and it's very easy. So we're trying to make the world easier in real life with the connected buttons.
All right. So how did this come about? I guess, how did Skiply get started? What did you see in the market that was like, okay, we need to create these feedback buttons, that help people provide this instant feedback?
Yeah, but basically, we are a country here in France where everything is complicated. We have a lot of administrative things, and where you have to fill form everywhere. And so, one of our main target was to simplify the world, not only for feedback, for many things, and saying, okay, it would be great if everything could be as simple as pressing a button. And so we started with feedback, but as you will see, we are doing a lot more things with this kind of buttons.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a saying actually. I wish it could be as easy as pressing a button, and you're
Yeah,
bringing that to real life, huh? So perfect.
exactly.
I like it. What made you choose to use Helium? How did you get started working with Helium, and why was it the right choice?
Yeah, we are very familiar with LP1 technologies for 7 years now. It was very difficult for us to find a real worldwide network. Something that is working in the US, in France, in Europe, in Japan, everywhere. So that was the first thing. When we saw Helium, we say, wow, great, they have a very good network, a very good coverage, and then it would be a very good thing for us. We can access to new markets thanks to Helium. And then it's cheap basically. I mean, the cost for communication is
Yeah,
cheap,
yeah.
and more than this, I mean, if we want to add a coverage to a customer, we will be paid for that, and that's really awesome. I mean, we will do the effort to add a gateway to cover an area, and we will get something against that. So that's great.
Yeah. Great. I love to hear it. You talked about expanding into new markets. You guys are based in France. You're doing a lot of this stuff in France. Do you have machines like feedback machines or other solutions
Yeah.
in around the world in other countries?
Yeah. We are in Japan, so we have the Osaka airport, and we are also in the US thanks to our partner Microshare, that is also a Helium user. So
Yes.
we are almost uh, basically US, Europe, and Japan, and some other Asian country for the moment.
Okay, great. Can you talk about, you mentioned microshare a little bit. Can you talk about any other major partners that maybe you're working with, like stores that your machines are in or anything like that, your devices are in?
Yeah. So first of all, we have a big partner now. We are working a lot with Microsoft. Yes, because collecting data is something, but using the data and integrating it into something that people are familiar with is not so simple.
Yeah.
So we are working a lot with Microsoft to provide a kind of native connectors to the Power Platform. So that means that when you press the button, then you have the result in Excel directly. So a connected spreadsheet can be connected with the buttons.
Yeah.
It can be an app or whatever you want. So that's one of the things that we are very proud of, is to work with Microsoft on those subjects.
Mhm.
And of course, we are a partners of very large airport operators like Vinci. Vinci, I think, has 60 airports in the world, and I think 6 or 7 in the US.
Okay. Okay, great. Now we've talked a lot about these devices. Do you have one to show to people so they can kind of
Yeah, I
see
have
what it looks
many.
like? If
So
they, yeah, let's see
the
what.
first one is the easiest one. I mean, so everybody can understand that. So you just
Yeah,
ask a simple question and you have a simple answer. So that's the first one that we have. But you have a lot of types that we are providing. We can do. This one is an example of what you can do in a city. If people they want to share something with the authority and say, okay, something is wrong on my street. It's for the Amsterdam city, and can do you can customize it to make it as a logistic tool. So there are many things that you can do with this buttons.
yeah. So you just showed one from the city of Amsterdam, right? So
Yeah,
they have some out there. How quickly does that data, like, if there's something that people need, it's not
yeah,
like calling 911 in the US, obviously, but I mean, how quickly does
yeah.
that data go to, like a office or something?
Yeah, basically it takes 30 seconds maximum. I mean, yeah, it cannot be used for vital emergency, which is,
Yeah.
I won't bet on it. But
Yes.
anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's very quick, and that's why you can use it for many type of application. Of course, when you have customer in an airport and you have maybe 1,000 or 10,000, sometimes people that are voting each day, you cannot send the data each time to the network. It would be a problem. But when you have something like this, just with a few data each day, so you can send it immediately.
Gotcha. Um, how about any like notable statistics? Like how many devices do you have deployed right now? Do you have big plans like for the end of 2022 to have X number of devices out there? Like give us some numbers here. Impress us.
I'm impressed. I don't know, but yeah, we deployed 40,000 devices
That's a
right now.
lot.
As not as much as I would like, of course, but no, this year is a special year because we have a big market demand, but the lack of components is really a problem at the moment.
Yeah.
So one of our main challenge is not to find customers, is to find components to build the devices. But hopefully next year it will be better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we think that potentially you can place it everywhere. I mean, there are many use cases, and we could spare a lot of time, and people spare a lot of time using this kind of devices in any situation.
Yeah. How about any future plans? I mean, you talked about number of devices, just,
Yeah.
trying to deploy more, but any kind of innovation or anything that customers can kind of watch out for coming up?
Yeah, we are first on the hardware side. We are building a lot of add-on to the products, because the product itself is something, but you have to place it somewhere, and people should see it. So there are many things around the product that are now being developed, from e-paper screen, for instance, to add some information, dynamic information.
Yeah.
There are many things, but the main challenge today is on the data side. That means that, okay, the hardware today, we know that it's capable to catch a lot of information, but now it's what we will do with this information. We are not trying to find people that are expert in each, expert in retail, expert in logistics, and that will be able to get the best of the data. And that's the real challenge. That is why we are building a lot of connection to dedicated software. I talk about Microsoft. So I mean, if you have a team and when you have a Microsoft environment, you can integrate data, but
Yeah.
you can also connect the button to a very specific software that will help you to get the best of the data.
Excellent. All right. So people can watch out for that. Now, I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this question, but a lot of people, when they see, some of our new users, really want to know, like, are you B2B, B2C, both? Like, can just individual people buy I don't know necessarily why you would put one of these in your home, unless you want
Yeah,
guests to celebrate your home or
yeah,
something.
that's
But,
you
if you
know.
have some kind of devices that are B2C as well, do you have that, or are you more B2B right now?
Yeah, it's mostly B2B, of course, but there are some use cases where the people use it at home. For instance, for elderly, they
Yeah.
install it at home, and then they can express the feeling each day, and depending on that, they can send someone and have a better support to say, okay, this guy has a problem, or it doesn't feel very very good. So sometimes our customers are installing it at home for B2C application. So basically we are B2B2C, we could say.
All right.
But there are some makers that also are buying, or you can buy it on Dataprint. Dataprint is one of our distributor, so you can also buy one of them and play with it. With that, it happened.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, Jérôme, this has been great. Really appreciate it. And you're coming on the uplink on July 28th. So if people want to do, learn a little bit more and see, some in-depth demos, screen shares, stuff like that, they can join the uplink. Registration will be up for that soon. And again, thank you. Super excited to have Skipley as part of the ecosystem.
Thank you, Jacob.
And looking forward to working with you.
Yeah, see you soon.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.